Hello, and welcome to another episode of India News Stream. I'm Swati Singh, and today we are going to talk to Navjot Kaur, who is a Harvard certified professional, and she works as a life coach. Along with that, she is a nutritionist and she understands the importance of fitness. So, we welcome Navjot to our episode where we will talk to her about nutrition and healthy lifestyle. Let's start by asking Navjot, what is your take on health and fitness?
Thank you for such a warm welcome, and I'm really honored to be here. And I always appreciate all the opportunities where I get a chance to express the importance of health and fitness in every individual's life. So, what better way to talk about it at such a renowned platform? Thank you so much for having me here. Uh, to your question, I think I would like to acknowledge the fact that fitness or per se health as a factor changed my life 180 degrees. In the last 5 years, I have seen a kind of transformation in my life physically and mentally, which was not possible if I was leading the life the way I was leading. And sadly, but truly, a lot of people, especially in our country, are living a life which is not healthy. And hence, I decided as an individual, once I was able to transform myself, that I want to address this concern and let people know that having a healthy life, a healthy body is not as difficult as it looks or as it sounds. It's intimidating because there's lack of information and there's scattered information on the internet. A lot of people are posting things which are fad, which are seasonal, but they're not sustainable. And hence, I decided that I would bring out honest, authentic, easy to understand, practical solutions which really help people.
Now we'd like to take you to another question, which is what is nutrition? And also the concept of a perfect diet. And is perfect diet a real thing? Or is it just another terminology? We'd like to know, Navjot.
That's a fabulous question. I think that is something that all of us need to understand. So, I will take 5 minutes and break down what the concept of nutrition is. I really hope while I do this that if even one person understands it and take it as a message and tries to adapt it, it helps them. So, nutrition is basically, I always use this analogy that nutrition is the fuel to your body. So, if you are a car, it is the petrol or diesel or energy source to your car. If you're the car, that's the fuel. Now, the quality of that fuel defines the kind of nourishment your body has. If we take out the factor of phenology and now concentrate on our body, it needs to function and it needs energy. Now, if it's the right mix of energy, you are able to consume all the energy properly from the source, which is food, which we call as nutrition, and you're able to supply it to all parts of your body in the correct proportion so that you're able to carry out the functions that are required without putting any extra load on any other portion, size, organ, or any other factor, joint, or uh, any other angle of your body. So, when we are on the subject of nutrition, we also have to understand that nutrition is nothing but a mix of majorly three macronutrients. If you understand that you are just playing with three major blocks and putting a permutation and combination of the percentage of all these three together to get maximum nourishment, your life is sorted. It's not as tough. You have to understand that it's made of three macronutrients, that's carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. If you are able to analyze what portion of carbohydrates, what portion of protein, and what portion of fat you are able to put together to prepare the meals that go inside your body to nourish you as and provide you the nutrients that you require to function, your life is sorted. Now, the trick is that you have to understand what food source is providing you which macronutrient. And that's where the question is. So it's not as technical as it's sounding. It's pretty easy. We as Indians have to understand that maximum meals that we eat are carbohydrate dense. So hence, because that's the kind of agricultural land that we had, and that's the kind of ancestral food culture that we've all grown up with. Uh, as a blanket answer, our meals are overall in the country carbohydrate dense. So if you want to nourish your body more, you have to limit the portion of carbohydrates. That can be the roti, chawal, all sorts of grains that you eat. All of pastas and noodles and all of this is purely carbohydrates, and you have to increase the portion size of protein. The protein you get from dals, the protein you get from eggs, chicken, pulses, mushrooms, soy, all these sources of food that provide you enough protein has to increase in portion size. And you have to provide your body with some sort of fats so that your hormonal balances are in place. That you can also consider to be included while you're preparing your meals, because you cook with oil in India. So, if you're able to prepare a meal where your carbohydrates are limited and you have enough protein on your plate and it's prepared in good fat, you are anyways having a healthy meal. If you want to improve the kind of energy that goes inside your body, if you want to increase the potential of immunity in your body, you have to play with these three blocks of macronutrients, which is protein, carbohydrates, and fats. And you will instantly see change within a month in the kind of energy levels you have, in the kind of relaxation your body, the state of relaxation that your body in, and a lot of other factors which are beyond the physical visual aspect of it. They are very you will be able to sleep better, you will be able to see a glow on your skin, you will be able to release your body from the extra residue very easily, your gut is healthier, you are less gassy, and all these factors are indicators that your body is in lesser load and it's improving on its own.
So, according to you, a balance of fats, carbohydrates, and protein make a perfect diet. And if this is how it is, I believe that a lot of people can really work on their diet and improve their life.
That's it. With limited addition to that statement, limiting carbohydrates to a certain point, because beyond a point, if you provide your body with carbohydrates and it's already served its purpose of providing you immediate energy, it has a high tendency of getting deposited in the fat pockets of your body. And everybody has different fat pockets. Somebody have it on your lower body, somebody has it around their stomach and other places. So it's always advised with the kind of lifestyles, if you're especially working in a corporate, it's assumed that you will not be able to physically move too much beyond a point. Limit the kind of carbohydrate intake, increase the protein intake, because it helps you. One, it keeps you satiated, so you don't feel hungry very often. Second, it serves the purpose of helping your bones consume calcium, and other factors helps you build muscle, and fats helps you in proper functioning of your hormones. So if you're able to balance that, you're good to go. You don't have to worry a lot about what goes in, what's good, what's not, what's seasonal, what's imported, what's expensive and not. Everything that's available in India in your kitchen works. Is just the balance of all that food on your plate that makes all the difference.
That brings us to the next question, Navjot. We'd like to ask you what is the use and the importance of exercise, especially when we talk about losing weight and we talk about having a healthy lifestyle. Your reactions, please.
First of all, I would say if we are in the zone of being unhealthy as an individual, my first advice would be to correct our diets, because that is the foundation. That is the, as I've already explained in detail, is the fuel for your body. But that can only substitute to a certain point, because we don't want to starve ourselves. We don't want to reduce it to the point that it's not sustainable and then we are feeling hungry all the time. Hence, I will, again, to answer your question and to simplify the fact, introduce another factor which is called calorie deficit. This is a concept where we are basically creating negative calories. What it means is that, for example, I am somebody who consumes 2000 calories in a day regularly, subconsciously. That's what my body feels good at. That's my usual balance. It can be 1800 one day, it can be 200, 2200 one day, but at an average, I consume 2000 calories. But my body is on the heavier side. I'm on slightly on the overweight side of my physical health. If I want to reduce weight, scientifically, there is no other way than creating a calorie deficit. Now, the question arises, how do you create that deficit? And how much deficit do you create? And how much deficit that you create is sustainable for you? So, if I am at 2000 calories and I am able to straighten my diet, I will be able to create a deficit of, say, 200 calories there, because I've mixed the macronutrients to a specific mix. I created 200 calorie deficit. But that's not enough for us to achieve the kind of goals. So the remaining deficit that I want to create on daily basis comes from activity. And activity here is exercise. There are multiple benefits of exercise. One is obviously that it helps you burn more energy, so you will be able to create deficit. That's the basic foundational need if you want to lose weight. But it also helps in proper regulation of your bodily functions. It helps in proper blood circulation. It helps in your joint functioning. It helps in your muscle strengthening. A lot of other factors also come in play. So, if you are able to create a deficit with a mix of diet and exercise, your body, and you are able to get that proper blood circulation going, and you have your muscles and your joints and your body functioning with any sort of exercise, you will be on a sustainable path of weight loss. And that you achieve with this combination will not reverse very quickly. So if you are overweight, you have to do a mix of exercise and correct diet planning. But when it comes to importance of exercise, there are multiple importances, and what is the correct exercise is something which is a very personal preference. It is dependent on various factors. The first factor that you have to consider, if you have to consider the kind of exercise, is your experience with exercising, because you cannot immediately jump into something that's very, very technical or very, very intense. Your body is not prepared for it, and you might end up injuring yourself, and you might not want to go back to that particular exercise ever again. If you're very new, start with just walking, start with just running, the basics that your body is since childhood trained to do. Once you get your energy levels and your blood fluids flowing, and you see the energy coming into your body and your strength increasing, that's when you get into something which is more technical. Can be workouts in the gym, can be lifting weights, can be band exercises. Or if you're somebody who does not want to get into something very technical but still wants to achieve a goal, something like a dance class or a Zumba class, or something which is engaging, like a match of table tennis very frequently, badminton, football, basketball, any sort of exercise that interests you is good enough for your body.
So now we come to a very important question, and most of our audiences would have that question, which is how to lose weight without putting in a lot of effort, too much of effort into it. And is there an easy way to check your calorie intake, to check your weight at all?
So the best weight loss tips that I can give you, the best tip is to adapt to a program that works for your lifestyle. It sounds like a very lame or a very generic statement, but this is the reality of achieving something that's sustainable and that works for you. So what do I mean by that is that in case you're somebody who does not have time, in case you're somebody who does not have the means, or if you're somebody that who does not want to invest a lot of time in going to another place, it's not something that interests you, all you need is to roll out a mat and give yourself 30 minutes of functional body weight exercises. I personally love functional body weight exercises because they are based on your day-to-day body movement. They are the foundation of your movements that you require in your body to achieve optimal fitness. Now, what sort of functional exercises can you do with your body weight? You can do squats, you can do lunges, you can do sit ups, you can do push ups. There are so many things which are basic in terms of application, but they are extremely effective in giving you results. How do you use it is what makes all the difference. If you're somebody who does not know how to do them, start with doing a few repetitions at least 3 times and then move on to the next exercise. For example, you can start with doing 20 repetitions of squats and do them 3 times, and then combine that exercise with 6 or more exercises or 4 more exercises, and your workout for the day is done. Because that's something new for your body. That's like an introduction of some movements that your body is not used to. It will immediately give you results. If you're somebody who has been doing some sort of activity, it can be playing games, can be dancing, can be Zumba, but doing a physical exercise in a stipulated time duration can become more interesting for you in giving you the results that you want. In that case, you can actually time yourself that I will do this particular exercise for 20 seconds. I'll take 10 seconds of break, I'll move on to the next one. This format is called interval training, or this format is also called Tabata training. Now, these are all functional bodyweight exercises. You're doing the same exercise, but the intensity changes with the kind of repetitions you do, with the kind of time duration you do that particular exercise, for the kind of rest periods you give yourself between two exercises. All these factors decide the intensity and the load of these exercises, and hence the result of these exercises on your body.
Now we come to the $1,000,000 question, which is what to eat and how much of it to be taken in at what point in time in the day. Because it is the time on which you take the food, the quantity of food and the quality of food that together make it healthy. So we'd like you to answer this, please.
That's again a very, very good question, because that I get asked this question, I think, by everybody. How many times do I have to eat in a day? Should I not eat my dinner? Will I lose weight? Should I skip my breakfast to limit the kind of food? The scientific answer to this is time of meals and number of times that you eat in a day does not matter if your accumulated number of calories are in the requirement of your goals. Meaning, you are eating 6 times in a day, and the total calories of all those 6 meals is 2000 calories. That's what your body needs to sustain or maintain the body weight that you are at. You are going to maintain the weight. Similarly, if you only eat 2 meals and the total of those 2 meals is also resulting in 2000 calories, you will still be at maintenance. Same is the concept of losing weight. If you are creating a deficit by eating smaller meals and the accumulated calorie count of those meals is in the deficit of what you are maintaining to achieve that weight loss, you will lose weight. Similar is the concept by skipping a meal. Why do we want to starve? Why do we want to skip a meal? Why do we feel that if we skip a meal we start losing weight? It's basically eliminating those calories coming from one meal of the day, and the reduction of total calories of the day. So you're creating a deficit by skipping a meal. Now the question is, what works for you? Hence the concept of intermittent fasting, which has become extremely famous and is also effective for some people. You partially fast. If you think that your life does not allow you to eat 6 meals a day, which is obviously logical, you follow the concept of intermittent fasting. You do not eat for certain hours in the 24 hours of the day, and you only allot your meal time in certain hours. There can be various combinations. The most famous is 16-8. You do not eat for 16 hours out of the 24, and you only have a window of 8 hours to eat whatever meals you can eat. And there is no limitation in the kind of food that you eat. Obviously, I would not advise you to eat junk food or ask you to eat fast food or packed food. But if you're having normal meals, you don't necessarily have to track it, because there's only as much food that you can eat in 8 hours versus the 16 hours of not eating.
Well, you did tell us about what to eat, and now I would ask what not to eat.
What not to eat? Very simple answer to that is anything that's packed should not be eaten. Okay. Anything that comes in a bag
Okay. So now we
Anything that comes in a bag should not be eaten.
not be.
But that's not a practical answer. If anybody can follow that, and a lot of people are following that, especially the people who are now going vegan, are I like personally have huge respect for people who are going vegan and who are trying to eat clean, who are trying to be completely organic. That's something that a lot of people are following, and I have full support to that. But in practical life, that's not 100% achievable for most of us. So it's not 100% possible that you do not eat anything out of the bag. So you should also create, as I said, a balance of 80-20. If you are able to eat more homely meals which are balanced, and allow yourself a few treat meals, as I call them, not cheat meals. If you're able to allow yourself, again, the choice of word is allow, not feel guilty, like not hog onto the food and feel guilty afterwards, but consciously allow yourself to enjoy the meal that you go out and have with your friends, socialize with your family, treat yourself with a pizza, with a burger, but that's only once in few days. One meal in few days, you're good. That's something that works for you, because you're not feeling uh, that you're not treating yourself with anything. You're not feeling that you're losing out on any good foods that your body or your taste buds enjoy, but still you're nourishing your body with the kind of food that gives it the real energy that it requires. So if you have to understand what not to eat, it's the food that's packed, it's the food that's pre-prepared, it's the fast food, it's the fried food, because it's completely disbalanced in nutrients. But if you want to know what's sustainable and what you should be doing with that kind of food, if you really like it, you have to follow the rule of 80-20. 80% 80% clean eating and 20% treat eating, and you are set.
I'd like to thank Navjot Kaur for giving her precious time to India News Stream. Thank you, Navjot, for sharing insights on health and nutrition. I hope our viewers got a good gist of how to keep themselves always healthy and fit.